What if I told you that Prince Harry's silence wasn't peace? It was pressure. What if behind those polished smiles, that Netflix glow, and those were so in love interviews, there's a secret network that's finally cracking open? Because tonight, we're diving into the one thing the palace never wanted you to hear: Meghan Markle's Soho house past, the elite social club that allegedly built her path to a prince. Why is Harry suddenly speaking out now? What did he find out that's making headlines shake? This isn't a love story anymore, fam. This is a social strategy gone nuclear. Grab your tea, because this scandal is spilling royally fast. So, picture this. The palace gates are quiet, the press is distracted, and suddenly, boom, a single leaked voice note hits the internet. Prince Henry, the man who swore he'd never talk about his past, finally breaks his silence. And guess what he's talking about? Not royal protocol, not family drama. Nope, he's talking about Meghan Markle's mysterious past with the Soho Circle, the members-only network where fame meets fortune and secrets pour like champagne. For years, everyone believed that love story was the fairy tale of the century. Actress meets prince, sparks fly, wedding bells ring. The end, right? Wrong, because insiders say that before Henry ever showed up in Meghan's orbit, she'd already built herself a backstage pass into the world's most exclusive rooms, courtesy of the Soho Circle. That's where the elite make deals behind velvet curtains and decide who's trending next. And here's where it gets juicy. According to anonymous sources with direct knowledge, don't we all love that phrase? Meghan wasn't just a member. She was the muse of a man named Marcus Andon, the Circle's global membership guru. This guy supposedly handpicked the city's next power players, and Meghan, she was his favorite project. Together they traveled, partied, strategized, building her image piece by piece. Now fast forward a few years. Meghan's career's stalling, her show's on hiatus, and suddenly she's randomly set up on a blind date with Prince Henry by, wait for it, a publicist who also happens to be in the Soho Circle. What a coincidence, right? When that news hit the tabloids, people swooned. A modern romance, they said. But behind those glossy magazine covers, whispers were already spreading. Some claimed the meeting wasn't fate, it was forecasted. That every chance encounter was planned months ahead. That even the restaurant they met in was one of the Circle's private lounges. And now, years later, with Henry's new tell-all interview dropping clips across social media, he's hinting there was more going on than the public ever knew. His tone, calm but cutting. I discovered connections I should have questioned sooner, he says, looking straight into the camera. Boom. One sentence, and the internet loses its collective mind. Because if Henry's implying what we think he's implying, then the story everyone bought, the fairy tale, might have been the most expensive PR campaign in royal history. And that, my friends, is where the silence ends and the scandal begins. The moment Prince Henry's interview clip hit the web, the internet split in half. Team Meghan screamed he's bitter, while conspiracy junkies shouted we told you so. Within hours, anonymous accounts claiming to be former Soho Circle insiders began posting receipts, screenshots of lavish dinners, invitation-only yacht parties, and private flight manifests filled the feed. One photo in particular went viral, Meghan Markle laughing beside Marcus Andon, surrounded by half the London elite, champagne in one hand, that same navy blue Soho bag in the other. Coincidence? The internet didn't think so. Then came the so-called velvet file, a 47-page leaked dossier uploaded by someone calling themselves Royal Watcher 77. It alleged that several early headlines about the royal romance were commissioned PR pieces paid for through shell companies tied to the Circle's creative wing. No one could prove it, but let's be honest, when has that ever stopped the comments section? Public reaction turned chaotic. Talk shows dissected every frame of Henry's interview. Podcasts labeled it the Crown Conspiracy 2.0. Memes flooded TikTok. Meghan portrayed as a chess master, Henry as the unwitting pawn, and right when things looked like they couldn't spiral further, a new clip surfaced. Henry's friend, voice blurred, face pixelated, claiming he found out about the sponsorship fund. What fund? Glad you asked. According to the whistle-blurry source, during the couple's engagement year, a mysterious media development account covered nearly $400,000 in travel, outfits, and get this, exclusive Soho Circle event fees. Officially, it was for brand partnerships. Unofficially, it looked like the Circle investing in a royal connection. The palace refused to comment. Classic move, but insiders whispered that senior advisors were deeply alarmed. Imagine discovering your future Duchess might have been financed by a private network known for turning actors into influencers and influencers into moguls. The optics, brutal. Meanwhile, Marcus and vanished from public appearances faster than you can say. Damage control. His Instagram, deleted. His company bio, on indefinite sabbatical. That silence spoke louder than any press release. Commentators called it the Soho storm, for every defender insisting, Meghan's just being dragged because she's successful. Another claimed the pattern was too perfect to ignore. The introductions, the media rollout, the curated image all trace back to the same velvet-roped empire. By the end of week 1, hashtags like #CircleGate and #HenrySpeaks had trended worldwide. Petitions demanded transparency, analysts predicted royal crisis meetings, and late-night hosts turned the scandal into comedy gold. And through it all, Prince Henry stayed quiet. Again, no tweets, no statements, just one cryptic message on his charity site. Truth has a price. Some pay with silence. Chills. Absolute chills. But if you thought the drama peaked here, buckle up. Because this video dives into what happened when governments, lawyers, and the royal PR machine all crashed headfirst into the Soho Circle's gilded wall. The morning after that cryptic post, the palace curtains didn't just close, they slammed shut. News drones circled above, reporters camped outside the gates, and every headline screamed the same thing. Government demands probe into the Soho Circle's royal connections. Just like that, the whispers had turned into an official storm. According to the Herald Post, Parliament launched a preliminary ethics inquiry, which, in plain English, means somebody's panicking. Investigators demanded to see donation records, sponsorship ledgers, and yes, those mysterious brand partnership payments. The number floating around? A staggering £2.7 million in unaccounted promotional expenses linked to the Circle's media fund. And who was listed as a key figure in the documents? You guessed it, Meghan Markle. While she stayed silent, her team scrambled. Publicists released glowing statements about philanthropy. Lawyers issued cease and desist letters to half the internet. And one bold insider told the Globe Review, the Circle doesn't build stars, it builds narratives. Mick dropped. But Henry, he wasn't playing the PR game anymore. Instead of hiding, he released a second clip on his official channel. No fancy editing, no palace background, just him, raw and unfiltered. He said, "Sometimes love blinds us to patterns we should have seen. I wish I'd asked more questions." Then silence. That single line hit harder than any royal decree. The fallout was immediate. Royal analysts claimed that statement destabilized public confidence. Stocks of companies tied to the Soho Circle's parent brand reportedly dipped 12% overnight. Even sponsors began backing out of upcoming events, terrified of guilt by association. Then, a curveball, leaked emails between Circle executives hinted that Project Emerald, allegedly code for the Henry-Meghan romance rollout, had been pitched years before they ever met. Boom. Internet meltdown. The Point Zero podcast called it the biggest orchestrated image campaign since early Hollywood. Project Emerald trended for a week straight. And while all this chaos unfolded, the palace made one final move, a temporary separation of public duties for Henry and Meghan. The official line? Personal reflection. Translation? Crisis containment. Media commentators couldn't decide what was sadder, the collapse of the royal fairy tale, or the possibility that it had never been real to begin with. Henry reportedly moved into a quiet countryside estate. No press, no cameras, just him and the echo of his own doubts. Meanwhile, the Soho Circle, they rebranded overnight. New logo, new leadership. Marcus Annan's name vanished from every official document. Poof, like none of it ever happened. And that, Gossip Fam, is how one royal confession cracked open the velvet curtain of high society and revealed that behind every fairy tale, there's a business planned. So, what do you think, fam? Was this a love story hijacked by power players or a full-blown royal PR project dressed up as destiny? Did Prince Henry finally wake up to the truth, or is he just rewriting history to protect himself? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't hold back. Smash that like button if you think the Soho Circle's secrets are only just starting to unravel. Hit subscribe if you're ready for this video of this royal earthquake, where we dig even deeper into what the palace is still hiding. Because if this was the fairy tale, what happens when the crown starts to crack? This is Royal Files, your front row seat to the truth behind the titles. Stay tuned. The next slides drop soon.